Hi, everybody. Welcome to Baseball Discourse. Well, I'm sure you've been following the Tampa Bay situation, the fact that the team has a letter of intent to be sold and they're going to stay in the Tampa Bay area. So what does that mean, for example, for the Orlando Dreamers? The Dreamers, they were kind of hoping that they weren't saying it outright, that their goal was to somehow land a Major League Baseball team. I think they were hoping that a group from the Orlando area would buy the Rays and move them to Orlando, but it's not going to happen. Baseball, Major League Baseball, is not going to abandon the 11th largest television market in the country. What is baseball to do? I mean, they're only going to add 2 more teams down the road, and that's not going to be until after they come to a deal with the Players Association. Meanwhile, you've got Portland out there. The Oregon legislature just passed funding for a ballpark. Utah wants to build a ballpark in Salt Lake City. It appears Nashville has everything together to build a ballpark in Nashville. Charlotte wants a Major League team. There's only so many Major League Baseball teams to go around. And this notion that, well, one team is going to pick up and move, the White Sox are going to move here, the White Sox are going to move there. Major League Baseball is not going to abandon Chicago. That's not going to happen. I know it came close when the White Sox almost moved to the Tampa-St. Pete area at Tropicana Field, but it didn't happen. So, how about this? Let me float this idea. How about a third major league? Have you ever thought about that? A third major league, that's right. Listen, that's how Major League Baseball expanded in the late 1950s going into the early 1960s. When in the late 1950s, 1959, 1960, Branch Rickey came along and was forming the Continental League. And that league was going to exist of cities that had been thwarted as far as wanting to get a Major League Baseball team. Why not a third major league? Think about it for just a moment. Well, rejuvenate the Continental League, even call it the Continental League if you'd like. But maybe a third major league, and who knows what it might lead to. You're going to need money. You're going to have money people involved. I'm talking people who are worth billions. But I can tell you something. You could make for a very interesting third major league. Here's my proposal. You could have an Eastern Division of Orlando, Nashville, Charlotte, Buffalo. Buffalo, by the way, was in the original Continental League, if I'm not mistaken. They were going to be part of Branch Rickey's Continental League. So make that Eastern Division 4 teams, Orlando, Nashville, Charlotte, Buffalo. Then you can have a Western Division, Portland. Oregon has put the legislation in place for a ballpark. Salt Lake City, Oakland. There's a ballpark right there, ready and waiting. Oakland. And Montreal wants a baseball team. So there's your Western Division. And then here's what I would propose. 7-inning games. I've been advocating Major League Baseball go to 7 innings. So have this new Continental League play 7-inning games, Sunday doubleheaders. Mondays are off. A 126-game season. That's right. Do the math. A 126-game season. And you would have each team play the same amount of games against the other team, split home, split away. The season would start in late April and go to September. And that's it. Boom. You get to the end of September. That is the end of baseball season. And the winner of each division plays for the championship. That's it. No wild card this, no top 2 teams, best percentage team. The winner of each division play a Continental Series. And there you would have it. Some other things. Managers must wear the team's uniform. None of this over-the-top stuff, the sweatshirts. A manager must be in full uniform, like the old days. And when they have the presentation of the lineup cards at home plate, managers have to represent the team. There's nothing that drives me, nothing against the coaches, and I understand it once in a while, but it drives me crazy now that managers rarely bring up the lineup card to home plate except on opening day or a special occasion. Managers represent the team. They bring up the lineup card. Organ music at the ballpark. None of this loud music here, loud organ music. You could have all the walk-up songs in the world. They have to be played on the organ. And most of the rules that Major League Baseball has implemented to speed up the game, I'm in favor of, but You've got to eliminate this ridiculous rule of you bring in a reliever, he must face 3 batters. No, you bring in your reliever, and if the situation dictates to bring in another reliever, you bring that reliever in. You got to use your best for the integrity of the game, for goodness sakes. Build these new stadiums, 20,000 seat. Your capacity is 20,000 seats. That's it. You can make a beautiful ballpark for 20,000 seats. Make pricing affordable. Major League Baseball, I'm telling you, their prices are going through the roof. You make your prices affordable. And as far as presenting the product, I mean, it's much easier with all this streaming and the technology we have today to deliver the product to fans. So you have streaming. Yeah, if you want to use the legacy media, legacy media is always looking for content, so you can put the games on your cable television if you want, on radio. But the new media is so available that you would have no problem getting your information out. So all I'm saying is, why not a 3rd major league? You might solve these issues about these cities that are proposing ballparks, that have the funding in place for ballparks, and are never going to get a major league team. The Rays are not moving out of Tampa, and Major League Baseball is not going to add a 3rd team in Florida by giving Orlando a franchise. It's not going to happen. They're dreaming. So if they're going to dream, why not dream for a 3rd major league? You're going to have to get money people, but a 3rd major league might resolve a lot of these issues. And let them battle for the players. The players win out, more jobs. Maybe there is a battle for a player coming out of college or a player coming out of high school. And so let the new league battle the established league as far as giving money to a talented ball player. Gives these players more options. And there are a lot of skilled players who may not be quite qualified to play in the major leagues anymore, who could give you a major league brand of baseball in a 3rd major league. So make it happen. A 3rd major league? It's a question that deserves an answer. What do you say? That's going to do it for Baseball Discourse. See you later.